economy. When you took over in Ghana, you promised to build a strong and resilient economy. Instead, you've presided over a steadily worsening economy. Growth has slowed dramatically. It's down from 9% in 2011. It's expected to be 3.9% this year, according to the OECD. Last July, Ghana's Trade Union Congress held a nationwide demonstration, issued you an ultimatum: address the widespread perceived corruption in the country and halt the depreciation of the currency. Why isn't that happening?
The economy is not like a motor vehicle where you just tighten nuts and bolts and the engine is...
But there's efficient running of it or inefficient running of it, isn't there?
You cannot attribute it to inefficiency. There are issues that resulted in the current economic challenges that we face. And I'll just walk you through. One is the implementation of a new universal salary structure in which we were trying to achieve equity in public service salaries and wages. In its implementation, there was a wage overrun, and the wage bill ballooned, much higher than was anticipated. So that was one of the causes.
But investors are losing confidence.
No. Investor confidence is high.
Association of Ghana Industry says business confidence dropped from 98 points at the end of last year to 85 in the first quarter of this year. That's a loss of 13 points in business confidence.
Business confidence is still high. I was just going to explain to you. We have economies that have traditionally been based on the export of primary products and import of capital goods. It takes time to diversify those economies. And so our economies are susceptible to the shocks on the international commodity markets. Remember that cocoa is our leading export, and then gold is our second leading export. We've just had an oil and gas industry, a new oil and gas industry. Now, what happened between 2010 and 2012 was that there was a dramatic reduction in price of cocoa. Gold has still not recovered from above $2,000. Gold is selling at $1,200.
But while you make that point, the Center for Policy Analysis says we Ghanaians are giving too many excuses and blaming our problems on the negative impact of external forces. Investors don't trust the way we're managing the economy. That's your own Center for Policy Analysis.
You can pick up many such studies. What I'm saying is
they're all saying the same thing.
We need to change the basis of our economy. It doesn't take 2 years to do it. I've been in office for 2.5 years. It doesn't take 2.5 years to transform the basis of the economy. And that's why we have presented to Parliament an agenda for transformation to diversify the economy, to add value addition and not just export primary products, to introduce manufacturing, to expand the services sector, increase agriculture and
People are impatient.
People are always impatient.
The majority of your people don't approve of your handling of the economy.
Majority of people,
56% of
majority of people in all countries are impatient. Even here in the developed world, in Europe, people are.
John Dramani Mahama in 2015 on your correspondent DW Tim Sebastian na on Chuchum now all came about the way na Ghana Fonso Kanda John Mahama, the pressures and all those things. And then one critical thing, I'll say ultimately for 2 years manage make sure say we economy is
the transformation. You talk about transformation.
Yes, so Nyoma Bibria in the next 2 years was so be expand the way importation and Nyoma Bibria we are hoping by 2016 na yehu. But by the end of your office, manufacturing was recording negative. Our Greek was not doing well. Inflation, there was a challenge. All these things now no. So I want to ask, Senyamiya Dumna Moba next year. Yemma how many years now meet me Ghana?
Okay. So John, thank you. Or the issues in Naba out. First, Dame Pedama Kanye Enka interview and sama Papa no bisa President Mahama inano. Yam picking one by one at a time. Baby are not all patched or your west and yam phone compare in there. Ibomu de President Mahama then Ghana for a cousin. And then there. Say na Ghana for Kasanda or then the Ghana Kawaii demonstration against the Kufuor or Pamnifido. Because in Zama Jinsem completely every single thing that he talked about. Every single thing. As a correspondent in Obisa, or friend and interview and Obisa President Mahama, every single thing. Why Jinsem? A crumpo you are in the oil better than before.
But does it make John Mahama better when to me I'm managing to does it mean say we no just say John Mahama
so me pedama kade President Kufuor Bawumia is not the solution.
But John Mahama is
Bawumia is not the solution.
But
or
John
your
Mahama
failure. President Mahama is far better.
Even though we were complaining.
Because you see, if inflation was 15.7% and Ghanaians were complaining, and it rose all the way to 57%, how many percent increase? If at the time we are saying that business confidence has dropped from 96 point to 85 and about 13% minus, what is it today? It's over 50% drop. If at the time we were saying that Ghana's export, we were relying on gold, cocoa, and oil and gas. Cocoa wegun, cocoa sector, Ghana cocoa board wegun. When we were leaving office, we were almost 1,964,000 metric tons for cocoa production. Today, we are struggling to do 400,000 metric tons. Cocoa industry wegun. Oil and gas now started booming. Today, oil and gas sector is declining. 8 years under President Kufuor and Dr. Bawumia, 1,200 additional oil field, one for Bibiamba upstream. Upstream, additional oil. Yan oil sector is going. I've heard a friend and the Munko for Fund Public Interest and Accountability Committee, PIAC. PIAC is in there. Sankagana one take steps I am the next 10 years our oil sector will collapse because President Kufuor no conform for Bimbi gas in Narukufum. What's all when you Ghana, when you oil companies now come a year and I wait to if Ghana. What if Ghana walk Ivory Coast? We can invest $10 billion in Ivory Coast. Mrs. Ivory Coast, when your oil and the boom, no way booming, it will be more than Ghana. ExxonMobil ran away from Ghana because of corruption. Ran away from Ghana because of corruption. No oil major want to come to Ghana because of mismanagement of the sector. For 8 years under President Kufuor. What's happening? What is happening to Ghana? Everything NPP will collapse. So I'm telling you that the next NDC government will restore confidence. First of all, in the oil and gas sector. 2, cocoa sector will revitalize it immediately.
I want
immediately.
Timelines.
You see, timelines now.
No, it's very important. Since more 4 years, since about 2025, 8 January.
So first of all, Cocoa Board as a state-owned organization, or they have overhaul management incomplete because they are useless, they are incompetent, and they've destroyed Ghana's
Cocoa Board.
Cocoa Board.
On the say 1 month.
First month, only the weeks, first week, 24, the first 2 weeks in office, we would deal with Ghana Cocoa Board. Okay. And we have to deal with it.
Okay.
Because the chief executive is the most incompetent chief executive I've ever seen in my life. Incompetent.
Cocoa Board.
Cocoa Board.
Okay.
What's the cocoa sector?
All right, next one.
We need to encourage the cocoa farmers to plant cocoa by giving them the right price. So the next cocoa pricing regime will give them the right price. Because today, as we speak, Côte d'Ivoire, 1 bag of cocoa or 9,400 Ghana cedis equivalent. Togo, 8,900. Ghana, 3,100. So first of all, yes, in Chad is the next pricing season. So the next pricing regime is based on the price. So we look at the price now, a world market price, and at the time the next pricing season will start September 1st. Okay. So 1st of September, it will determine or it will be dependent on the world market price at the time in September.
So let's say 7,000.
So all what we are saying is that we are committing to give the farmer 70% of all FOB prices. So FOB price and whatever it is, we'll give them 70%. Today, they are giving them 30-something percent.
70%. Next one here then.
So we are telling you that again, Ghana for what's happening. Young concentration on agriculture. You boost agriculture. so that Ghana will start feeding itself.
Agree now, not that time. No, in 2014, now we are importing 1 billion. Move free to $2.4 billion.
And the
but John Mahama promised in 2014 say Obe cut it down that agree. But maybe you know not yes our cost.
So what's the big deal?
No, I know there's a challenge, but
worse.
Okay, it is worse. So how do
so
you make
whatever
it
is, we will reduce it by 50%.
Sir.
Yes.
Yeah, record you.
We are determined. And I'm happy. I'm happy. I can even say it. We will take steps to cut down on
timeline. Steps, timeline.
Okay, so first of all, my example. Your palm industry will collapse in Ghana.
Okay.
Palm industry now will collapsing as a result. In the oil palm yara ye consume Ghana, ye import fi countries ye deba. Oil palm kra Ghana. You see, Ghana annual consumption of oil palm is about 300,000 metric tons.
Right.
We produce about 150,000 metric tons. Why? Almost 50% of the national consumption is imported by even oil palm. We believe that the time has come for us to reinvigorate our oil sector, oil palm, edible oil. So we are going to invest in the sector. It takes, from the time you acquire the land banks to the time you build, it takes 3 to 4 years. The next 3 to 4 years, this importation of crude palm oil will be out.
Because in 3-4 years.
Because Abeno, you have to first of all plant.
So I'm looking at the short term. Whilst you are looking at long term.
So the short term, the short term.
How do we reduce that oil price in our country?
So
because we are expecting
at
least and
yes,
at least and the NDC are buying.
Okay.
So the time I'm planning long term. No.
Yes.
But then
okay. So namakano, you want zama or your quick fixes.
Okay.
Your company bit the Wilma. What tema? Wilma no what tema? Ono auto palm ifi baby the benzo oil palm plantation.
Right.
Auto beefy oye GOPDC. Ewo kede. Auto beefy trifu oil palm plantation top. Ewo trifu praso. So auto or producing locally. Or producing locally and won't beat the fight up. No whatever system no more button. Today, Wilma was shut down. The operation was shut down operation because of the importation. Abano allowing companies need now according to ones when you're oko. So first of all, you need to revive it. Those are quick fixes that can be done within the first 3 months.
First 3 months.
Okay. They're quick fixes that you can do.
Okay.
Then aside the quick fixes, you plant for long term. And those are the things that we will do.
Let's look at the unemployment issue. You will come and meet, according to ERU, problem now years so far Sisiana, about continue till 2026. Unfortunately, if my memory serves me right, you will a cabi wasn't carbying to our push it till 2026, which means it says, so we're buying about betua. Yeah,
I can't sampa. I will take you through this. I will take you through this.
And so I want to understand Ejuma, under John Dramani Mahama. I think we have like 5-6 minutes.
Okay.
Until it's me manage.
Okay.
Ejuma specific. But now we are number your question about what dear. So manage sika. Na se funjini do ko hono.
Okay.
Ejuma ni here.
So first of all,
yeah,
Mamanka, what we can do to help create employment.
All right.
Employment na yen create na no is because of 2 things. Aban na otsedon. Onfa nzama osefata. Oye policies are obe encourage the private sector but we create employment. Manyo kase Unilever, one Lipton tea plant were collapsing. Morocco, Wharton, Oko, another country. Manyo kase even Big Pen na will produce Ghana. We're closing Wadoko, Ivory Coast. Or a few examples. A lot of companies were Ghana Woko. Obviously, as a result of lack of confidence in the management of the economy. And when now wobu or manen untum umbuni into businesses and woni hope. Taxes and also wados to the extent today. Businesses and they cannot survive here. Into when now what they were shut one companies no Woko. I've told you what we are going to do. First, tax be today emission tax. It will see a tax na kufu ado kofa buy ne ba umia. Ye be ye betting tax ye be ye Or your COVID levy. COVID-19 levy 1% as disguised in VAT ye be fi ho. E-levy ye be fi ho. First budget, we will signal confidence to the business community. Yen tata hon na company bi the year na wungwana nko or your Ivory Coast. Yen hon bakasa mo asana babak. Yet the private sector no, we will boom the private sector with good policies. Yeah, that means private sector no be start to create employment. Yeah, well, and one so ye pede ye boa hon through the national apprenticeship scheme. Na ya mo hon insanu dwuma obotum we create one kasa won adwuma.
Right.
We are also saying that we are going to create Mbesiafo Bank, Mba Bank, Women's Development Bank.
Right.
Na ya ma Mbesiafo seed money.
Right.
Sika or ye low interest or virtually no interest.
Right.
Na ya da ma Mbesiafo mo won trade na worry no wetum wakodo. Again, seed na or depreciate constantly no will reduce the cedi depreciation. You reduce the cedi depreciation now. Obobo ama businesses na worry system no mu watna and the traders no so we adwuma so we adwuma akodo no we to my employing crofo.
Right.
These are quick fixes. Short term measures.
No, you say one first year.
First year. First budget. You see, the budget will signal a lot of things. But the biggest problem President Kufuor will leave behind. Ono nya large ba will leave behind in Nkrofu wa bobusa ma bosa no wo wie so a bosa no wontua ka ba menkyerɛ ade bia wa wa ha. Oye 2025. Bosa wa bo egu ho a wentua ka wa aban foforo ombra no ombombotua ka wo no. The next government no obape sika President Kufuor wa bo egu ho a domestic nkotia odo otua oye 999 billion Ghana cedis.